Now today, I want to go deep into the book of Revelation. I don't know that I've had a chance to deeply preach to you on the book of Revelation yet. Do we have any fans of the book of Revelation out there today? All right, we got a few fans. The book of Revelation. And by the way, you may not know this about me. You're going to learn something about me right now. It's the book of Revelation, not the book of Revelations. That's my pet peeve. I'm just owning it from the beginning of this sermon. It's one revelation, not many revelations. It's the revelation of Jesus Christ to the last day church, not the revelations. So that's my little pet peeve. If you walk up to me and you say afterwards, great sermon on the book of Revelations, I might look at you a little like, It's the book of Revelation. And in the book of Revelation, we find John the apostle, last living apostle. We find him in prison. He says that he is in prison for the cause or the purpose of the gospel of Jesus Christ. He's imprisoned on the island of Patmos. He can't get off. He's abandoned on this island. He's there because he wouldn't stop preaching about Jesus Christ throughout Minor Asia. And so the Romans took him and they imprisoned him on this island of Patmos. And he is sitting there on this island when Jesus Christ comes to him. Oh, I would like Jesus Christ to come to me personally. Speak to me personally. Give a revelation to me personally. There, John is the last surviving disciple, the last surviving apostle appointed by Jesus on the earth. And he's trapped on the island of Patmos, and Jesus comes to him to give him a vision of what must take place. The letter is addressed to 7 churches. We often refer to them as the 7 churches of the book of Revelation, but they most likely were John's district. Now, when I started pastoring, I had 4 churches in my district. So John has me beat there too. And I complained about 4 churches and doing my master's degree at the same time. But John had 7 churches in his district, and he would travel amongst them, and now he is imprisoned on the island of Patmos. And I just want you to notice how you can be imprisoned on an island. What? Did they put him in a jail? No. Did they chain him up? No. How is it that you can be imprisoned on an island? None of you grew up watching Gilligan's Island? None of you? A 3-hour tour? No? You can't get off. Why can't you get off the island? The sea. And in the book of Revelation, the sea is the one thing that keeps John from the people he loves. In the book of Revelation, the sea is the one thing that prevents John from just walking back to Ephesus. I'm sure John remembers Peter walking on the water with Jesus. I'm sure John longs for that ability that Peter had, even though it was just for a moment. But it is the sea on this island that keeps John in prison there. And John just wants to get back to his church family. John just wants to get back to his Vienna. And it's interesting because the sea is a repeated theme in the book of Revelation. All the way to Revelation 21, where John declares, and there is no more sea. Behold, I saw a new heaven and a new earth, and the sea was no more. What does he mean? There's a time coming, Vienna. There's a time coming, church, where there will be no division between those and who we love. There'll be nothing that keeps us trapped from those we love. And so I am not surprised by the imagery that we find throughout the book of Revelation, particularly in chapters 4, particularly in chapters 15, of there being a glass sea. We find it in Revelation 4, we find it in Revelation 15, and we find shadows or echoes of it in Revelation 7 and 14. Why a glass sea? Well, I do not know how much Americans like hockey. But I'm a Canadian. And I can tell you one thing. We don't even know what basketball is most of the time. We're like, do they use skates for that too? A glass sea is like an ice sea. It's a solid sea. It's a sea you can walk on. Which is why God's people are always seen in the book of Revelation as being on the glass sea. And the glass sea in the book of Revelation is always leading to the throne of God and his Lamb. In other words, John is trapped by the sea and he can't get to who he loves because of the sea. But in the book of Revelation, the glass sea, the solid sea, is the sea that is seen that leads right up to the throne with the 24 elders, with the 4 living creatures, where they all say, worthy, worthy, worthy is the Lamb. The glass sea is seen as the pathway. The glass sea is seen, if you will, as the path or the road or the way to the throne of God. It's a symbol. Now hold on, don't get afraid. It's a symbol of the path to judgment, the path to what it is God is going to declare about you. Now. I'm going to ask the question, just I'm on my tippy toes here and be very careful. I'm going to ask the question. Is judgment a good thing or a bad thing? Oh. It's quiet in here. Is judgment a bad thing or a good thing? You know, this is where I wish we had these anonymous voter clicker things, because I don't want to ask you guys to raise your hand on this. Is judgment a bad thing or a good thing? In Revelation 7, here's what it says. After I looked, and there before me was a great, how much? Multitude. How big was it? It was so big that no one could count it. Does that seem exclusive or inclusive? After this glad sea, after this I looked, and there was a great multitude that no one could count. And where did they come from? They came from every nation. They came from every tribe. They came from every people. Like you already said nation. You already said, why are you going to add people in there? Because there are some people who don't know even where they belong or where they came from. And God is not going to forget anyone who travels to his throne on the glass sea. And every language. And they will all be before the throne and before the Lamb. And they will cry out in what kind of voice? How are you guys going to be out there whispering loud? And what kind of voice they got? Look, you guys are going to this glass sea, right? You guys want to be in every nation, every people, every tribe, every language, right? What kind of voice they got? Don't make them have a special section for the Adventist. They cried out in a loud voice. Why loud? Because what they are saying is imperative. What kind of voice? Loud. Medium. One more time. What kind of voice? Loud. Okay, they heard you now. Salvation belongs to our God, who sits on the throne, and to the Lamb. Picture, if you will, a great glass sea. Picture, if you will, a great multitude. Picture, if you will, a huge caravan of people coming on this glass sea. They're from every nation. They're from every people. They're from every language. They're from every tribe. And they're crossing this glass sea, and they're approaching the Lamb and the throne. And they are saying, with what kind of voice? Salvation belongs to our God, who we are not afraid to go right up to his throne. Is judgment good or bad? They have no fear of God's judgment because they know salvation is his to give. And then one of the elders stops and he looks at John. One of the elders, one of the 24 elders stops and he looks at John. And he says, these in white robes, who are they? And where do they come from? In other words, think about it. We're in a heavenly scene. We're before the throne. The 24 elders are there. The 4 living creatures are there. And they're yelling, worthy, worthy, worthy is the Lamb, slain for the foundation of the earth. And out of no place comes this great multitude of people. And they're walking on this glass sea. And they are bold enough to come right up to the throne of God. And so one of the elders stops and looks at John and says, what in the world? Who are these people? And why do they think they get to come right up to God? And then he said, these are those who come out of great tribulation. Do you have any tribulation? Do you have any problems? Do you have any struggles? Do you have any hurts and heartaches? If you do, there may be a place for you on the glass sea. Because no one walks that glass sea that didn't go through tribulation. No one walks that glass sea that didn't go through problems. No one who walks that glass sea who didn't feel the sting of the fallen world. These are those who come out of not just Monday morning kind of tribulation. You know, everybody gets off to a bad start on Monday, right? Even Garfield, and I don't quote a cat often. But it's when Monday turns into Tuesday and Wednesday. And it's like they're not just having a bad day. It's great tribulation they've traveled through. But they have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Now, this is where my, how shall I say this? This is where my lack of experience with laundry comes into play. Oh, don't worry, I've done a few loads of laundry. If you ask my wife out at the Connection Cafe, she'll tell you not enough, but maybe it's my inexperience with laundry that leaves me with this theological dilemma. Maybe I'll be more theologically astute if I do some more laundry, but I don't understand how washing something in blood makes it come out white. Because I was always taught to separate your laundry, right? So your whites don't get polluted by the colors, right? But they washed in blood. And blood made them pure. There's this great multitude. They have no fear of God's judgment. There's this great multitude. They walk on the glass sea. There's this great multitude. They come from every nation. They come from every people. They come from every language. They come from every tribe. And the reason they're there is they faced the great tribulation of the broken, sinful world called planet Earth. But they washed in the blood of the Lamb, and they have victory. Notice, please, just notice, please. They are never promised victory because of anything they did. There's not a verse in Revelation that says they were great vegetarians. They ate all the tofu. I like tofu because I know someone's going to say something to me. But as much as I like tofu, it doesn't make me righteous. It doesn't even say they went to church on the right day, so they got a special spot on the sea of glass. It says they wash themselves in the blood of the Lamb. Now, in Revelation 14, we see this same group, and they are represented by a different imagery, but it is the same group. In Revelation 14, they are called messengers. You may have heard the phrasing, three angels' message, or three angels' messengers. This is the same group who've washed themselves in the blood of the Lamb. And by the way, the word angels, or angelos in Greek, doesn't refer to those who have wings and a halo. The word angels, both in Greek and in Hebrew, means messengers. Is anyone here a messenger for Jesus? Is anyone here living a life for Jesus? You are an angel. You are a heavenly angel with a heavenly message. Which is why we believe in the three angels' messages of Revelation, right? Because they are about those who've washed themselves in the blood of the Lamb. In fact, in Revelation 14:4, to paraphrase, it says, these are those who follow the Lamb. Where are they following him to? I didn't hear you because you're still working on that loud part. These are those who follow the Lamb. I'm pretty sure that didn't pick up for YouTube. We'll try it one more time. These are those who follow the Lamb wherever he goes. And I like that. Because they got no idea where they're going. And I like that. Because I got no idea where I'm going. And you know what I also like about that? I don't need to know where I'm going. And I got news for you, particularly you over-planners and overachievers. You don't need to know where you're going. And you may think you know where you're going, but you don't know where you're going. And I got even more news for the super overachievers and super overplan. Like the people who not only have their GPS app set, but they got printed out instructions just in case. The ones who laughed are those people. Can't talk loud, but they can laugh. It doesn't matter where you're going if you're not following the Lamb. All that matters is, are you following the Lamb? Book of Revelation doesn't once mention tofu, but 27 times it mentions a lamb. Yes, carnivores, let that set in. These are those who follow the Lamb wherever he goes. I just want to follow the Lamb. I just want us as a church to follow the Lamb. I just want us to keep in step with, it doesn't matter what nation you come from. I mean, they even apparently let Canadians in here. 2, they didn't even notice. It doesn't matter what ethnicity you are. It doesn't matter what tribe you're from. It doesn't matter what language you speak. What matters is, are you following the Lamb? Then I saw another angel flying in the midst of the air, or midair. And he had with him the eternal or everlasting gospel to proclaim to those who live on the earth. Oh, by the way, that's why in heaven they had to ask John, who are these people who had to wash in the blood of the Lamb? Right? Because like the old hymn says, angels cannot sing the redemption song because they don't know what it means to be redeemed. The gospel is for sinners like me. If you're not a sinner, there's no need of the gospel. But I know what I am. And so I know what I need. And these are those who follow the Lamb wherever he goes. They have the eternal or everlasting gospel to proclaim to those who live on the earth. And you could do a hard stop there, but John doesn't. Because John is all about diversity. I mean, you can't get more inclusive than saying the gospel is for everyone on the planet. That's a pretty inclusive statement. Would you agree? Okay, I know we have a few people up in the space station. They're trapped up there until till the new year. I've heard the news story, but let's not get carried away. It's not enough for John to say, the gospel is for everyone on the earth. He spells it out. Because he knew. Come on now, church. I won't take too much longer, but he knew. Come on now, church. He knew. There will be those who try to exclude others. So he doesn't let his statement stop. He spells it out. It's for every nation. It's for every tribe. And I like the word tribe because there's a lot of things you could call a tribe. A tribe isn't any particular ethnicity or even require ethnicity. Like, I am of the tribe of trekkers. Oh, come on, church. Live long and prosper, Mike. Like, a tribe is any group, any clique, any community, any gathering of people who are the same, who come from the same sort of experience. John says it's for every nation, it's for every grouping, it's for every tribe, it's for every language. Just in case you're going to still try to exclude somebody. John is like, it's for every people. And listen what he says next. He said, with what kind of voice? Oh, come on. Did a bunch of people leave already? What kind of... The book of Revelation is very loud, folks. He said with a... loud voice. That's it. A loud voice. Respect, or in some translations, fear. Respect God and do what? Give him glory. Because the hour of... Oh, is judgment good or bad? If you're on the sea of glass, it's good, right? Because those who are on the sea of glass have washed their robes in what? The blood of the Lamb. And somehow they got something better than tide in heaven. Because you can wash a white robe in heaven in red blood and it comes out white. Procter & Gamble don't got that one copyrighted. Respect God and give him glory because his judgment has come and it is in your favor, church. Amen. Oh, come on. Respect God and give him glory because judgment is coming. You've been found washed. Amen. Respect God and give him glory because you have been washed in the blood of the Lamb. Worship him who has redeemed you. Worship him who has cleansed you. Worship him who you followed all the way to the sea of glass. Worship him. And now a direct quote from Exodus 20. In the fourth commandment, who made the heavens and the earth and even the sea, which John does not like, and the spring of water. So I'm going to ask you, what is diversity? Put it all together. I'll tell you what diversity is. Diversity is an opportunity to respect and glorify God. Have you followed me this far? God is calling all people, no matter their tribe. God is calling all people, no matter their language. Je parle français? I didn't even get bien back. God is calling all people, regardless of their nation. God is calling all people to walk the sea of glass and be washed in the blood of the Lamb. God is calling all people to give him glory. And I want you to know something. I want you to know something. I want you to know something. I reached the bottom step and realized I left my T at the top of the step. That's what I want you to know. So when you see me go back up there in a minute, you know why. No, that's not what I want you to know. You're all called. Every single one of you. To respect God and give him glory. Amen. And no one can give God glory the way you can give God glory. And if you don't give God glory, or if you exclude somebody else from giving God glory, he does not get his full glory. There is a reason why he called every people. There is a reason why he called every nation. There is a reason why he called every tribe. There is a reason why he called he wants his glory in all languages. And his glory cannot be expressed by one language, by one group, by one kind, by one person. God's glory cannot be explained or articulated by one culture. God's glory can be found in the organ, and it can be found in the guitar. God's glory can be found in a Canadian and in an international community. God's glory, yes, 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 regardless of political ideation. Yes, 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 regardless if you like spicy food or bland food. I don't understand you bland people, but hey, give God your glory without the salt and pepper. God's glory is not limited. It doesn't have, God's glory is not just KJV. Oh, did I say that? God's glory has many shapes, many styles, and many expressions. And the reason is in Genesis 1, which I won't prolong the sermon and go back to, but man and woman were equally made in the image of God. So there is no people on this earth. That's why he said, in all the earth, right? Isn't that what he said? There are no people who aren't a reflection of God's image. Every piece of a puzzle is diverse. You search through the box and you look for the pieces and you figure out how to put them together. And you start laying them down, and if you're like me, you build the frame first. No two pieces will be the same. Oh, there may be similar shapes, but they will have different color patterns on them. There may be similar color patterns, but they will be on different shapes. No two pieces. I don't care how many pieces of the puzzle you get. I don't care if you're one of those people who like do 20,000 puzzles. Every puzzle piece fits to make the image that the Creator meant it to make. And I want to tell you today, as the praise team gets ready to come forward, and I run up there quickly and grab my tea, I want to tell you today, you belong here. Because God's glory is incomplete without your